Welcome to the program Beyond Religion with host Cressida Maharaj on Isaac 98.1 FM.
What if one of the greatest misunderstandings in the church today is the difference between God's order and man's control? Because whenever people hear the word order, they immediately think of systems, structures, authority. But what if God's definition of order looks very different from ours? Because order was never God's way of controlling people. Order was God's way of protecting people. And somewhere along the way, many have confused the two. The church talks about order, but Jesus talked about people. The church talks about structure. Jesus talked about hearts. The church talks about authority. Jesus talked about servanthood. And perhaps that is why Jesus constantly challenged religious leaders. Not because he was against order, but because he was against systems that had lost the heart of God. Mark 12:40 says, "They devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers." Think about that. The problem wasn't the existence of a system. The problem was that the system no longer reflected the heart of God. The very people who should have been protected were being overlooked. The very people who should have been cared for were being burdened, and Jesus exposed it. Because God's order was never meant to preserve power. God's order was always meant to protect people. And perhaps one of the most important questions every believer should ask is this: does this system reflect the heart of Jesus? Because a system can be organized and still be unhealthy. A church can be growing and still miss broken people. A ministry can be successful and still lose compassion. A leader can be respected and still fail to reflect Christ. Because God's definition of success has never been centered on appearance. It has always been centered on fruit. And when Jesus described leadership, he completely changed the conversation. Mark 10 says, "You know that those who are considered rulers over the Gentiles lord it over them, yet it shall not be so among you." Did you hear that? It shall not be so among you. Jesus was introducing a completely different model. The world's model says, rise higher, gain power, increase control, protect your position. But Jesus says, serve, wash feet, carry burdens, lift people, protect the vulnerable, reflect the Father. That is kingdom order. Some people think order means people serving the system. But in God's kingdom, the system exists to serve people. Think about Jesus. Everywhere he went, he disrupted religious expectations. Not because he hated order, because he loved people. When the sick were overlooked, he stopped. When the outcasts were rejected, he stopped. When the widow was ignored, he noticed. When the sinner was condemned, he showed mercy. When the religious leaders protected tradition more than people, he confronted them. Because God's order has been rooted in love, not control, love. And perhaps this is why Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians, "For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace." Peace, not fear, not manipulation, not pressure. Peace. And where God's order exists, people should flourish. People should grow. People should heal. People should encounter Jesus. People should become more like Christ. Because true biblical order creates an environment where people can thrive spiritually. It does not create an environment where people are controlled. Here's a thought worth carrying with you. Any order that protects power more than people has drifted from the heart of God. Let that settle in. Because Jesus consistently measured systems by how they treated the weakest among them: the widow, the orphan, the poor, the outsider. And maybe that is still the test today. Not how impressive something looks, not how large it becomes, but whether it reflects Jesus. Because true order should make Christ more visible, not leaders more visible, not institutions more visible. Christ. The closer something moves toward Jesus, the healthier it becomes. The further it moves from his character, the more dangerous it becomes. And perhaps today God is not asking us whether our churches are organized. He's asking us whether they reflect his heart, whether we reflect his heart, whether our leadership reflects his heart. Because at the end of the day, God's order is not about preserving structures. It is about revealing Christ. And wherever Jesus is truly at the center, people are not used, people are loved, people are not controlled, people are shepherded, and people are not forgotten. People are truly seen. Because God's order was never designed to build kingdoms for men. It was designed to reveal the kingdom of God. This has been Beyond Religion, removing the mask of religion and revealing the heart of Christ.
Thank you for listening to the program Beyond Religion with host Cressida Maharaj on Isaac 98.1 FM.